All right. So I'm here today because, like you, I believe in putting power back into the hands of the workers, the artists, the creators, and all the people who make businesses run and thrive every day. I also believe that creative integrity, fair profit sharing, and co-ownership, where every voice is heard and valued, goes a long way. And that's how I founded Stocksy. Simply put, Stocksy United is an online artist-owned co-op that sells curated high-end stock imagery. Every artist and every photo is hand-selected in a consistent vision for quality and aesthetic. We love photography and we love what we do, and our clients love us because when they shop with us, they know they're supporting artists. They're doing business with a company that has clear values and ethics, and at the end of the day, they can go home feeling good about. We founded Stocksy as a second kick at the can from the lessons we learned building iStock, the first microstock company that later sold to Getty Images. After iStock, I honestly never thought I could return to the stock industry, but I just couldn't stop thinking about it. After enough disgruntled photographers kept visiting us, we realized we could do it differently this time. We could enter the market with a model that ensured artists were treated fairly and ethically, and that was the co-op model. So with the co-op model, we can ensure no one got rich off the hard work of our artists, other than the artists. The photographers' voices would be heard and represented, business would be transparent, and no major buyout or funding could threaten the artist's livelihood. When we launched, stock photographers wanted a new future, but surprisingly, our approach was not originally universally received. We basically had to tell a lot of stock photographers, including those who were close friends with us, that in order to move forward, they had to start over. And that included leaving behind their dated stock portfolios. We weren't just trying to change the stock industry with our business model. To succeed, we also had to reinvent what the stock photo collection looked like. And many said no, they weren't ready to change. So instead, we met an entirely new group of people. Some were from the stock world, and others had never sold stock ever. By the end of our first year, we had 587 photographers and roughly 100,000 images and did about $500K in revenue. By year 2, we had 862 photographers and 275,000 images and increased our revenue by 580%, closing the year at $3.7 million, and we're going to double that number this year. Yeah. And I'm proud to say so far we've paid out $4 million directly to our artists. We now have 900 photographers, of which we had to turn away about 10,000. But of those people who at first didn't want to change, they came back thanking us for reinvigorating them as photographers, challenging them to get back to shooting what they love and producing an end result that they could feel proud of. So there are challenges we have faced as a co-op, and we have realized that there are not a lot of other multi-stakeholder co-ops with our model or scale. We're online, we're artist-owned, and we have a large contributing shareholder base. We've had a lot of wonderful support from the BC Co-op Association in Canada, where we're based. But for the most part, we've just had to make a lot of the mistakes and learn as we go. It's just this last year that we figured out the trifecta of balance or triangle of influence and how they feed each other cooperatively. And that is community, clients, and staff, not necessarily in that order, but always represented. Our year 2 job interviews, almost everybody I spoke with said the same thing to me, that I want to be more involved and I want to collaborate with you on building the business. As a small startup culture, we didn't really have a culture when we started. We had poured out all this energy into our artists and the co-op community, but had neglected the incredible people that had helped make it happen. So I had to do some major soul searching and redirection to figure out how I could make the staff feel as empowered as our community. So I started by looking at the hierarchy, which we basically flattened, or in my head is more like a circle. So this is how we break down our client relations department. So no longer do people fall by rank. Everyone is a stakeholder, and everyone's accountable to each other. Often companies don't give enough value, I think, in respect to the creatives and the ITs. Typically, each one has like their own corner in the office, and there's a biz dev or some equivalent who dictates back and forth to them what the priority should be. Our creatives and our IT people are the heart of our business. Each team works closely with the other in a collaborative way that respects each perspective's value until we can find a balance between the two. And honestly, they inspire the shit out of me on a daily basis. We can now we can truly feel the value of being a co-op in our office and how we operate. The community was, of course, our biggest challenge. We couldn't just throw 900 people into a forum and let it take care of itself. Anyone who's worked with a large-scale forum probably knows that the most negative voice is the most heard. So it was a bumpy start and we didn't get there overnight, but after 2 years we learned some important lessons to facilitate a healthy, positive, and supportive community in our forums. And that is to refrain from getting upset or emotional in any of our responses, to always do our best to make our the opinions of the photographers feel heard and validated. If you express an opinion, make sure you have the hard evidence and the facts to back it up. Actively initiate positive conversations and community involvement. Proactively provide reporting on business operations for transparency, and to take the time and effort to make sure your reports are beautiful so that it's something your members can feel proud of. And to actively provide a consistent vision for the creative direction of the collection. When everyone is happy and deeply believes in the product that they work for, that excitement inevitably flows through to your clients. So half of our staff is dedicated to client service, making sure not only do they have an amazing experience, but that our clients also feel heard. The last 2 weeks, all we've been doing is meeting our clients here in New York, and the majority of them told us that no one else gives them that personal care. Nowhere else do they feel like a person or a business that matters to a stock company. Our clients are just as much a part of what it means to be a co-op as our artists, and at the end of the day, they fucking love that we're a co-op. I truly believe that there's momentum building in ethics-based business practices, which is why I love being here. We're part of a new generation that isn't willing to work in jobs or companies that they can't believe in, and I believe that if we can continue to stand together, we can create a standard for all companies to operate with fairness and integrity. Thank you, guys.